And here's my code. Firstly, I initialize an app of the flags and define three variables here. The first one is labels and the width and the config. Here is how to access this API. If I get a pose request, I will save the image to the disk and again detect this image. So how to detect? First is to log the net from this to file and read the image, get the dimensions, and also construct a blob and set input. And also we need to get the output layer here and perform a forward. And then initialize three variables here and loop over the output layers, get output, and also loop over the detections to get detection here and to handle some data. Finally, we apply a non-maximal suppression to get a set of index. And we make sure that index is larger than 0 and loop over it, flatten it, we can get some label and currency and put it in the objects, return this JSON data. And here I open the multi-thread. And also, these three variables is global variables that can improve the performance. And here is my Docker file. And firstly, I set the base image and set the work directory to assignment 1 and copy the requirement text to here. Requirements contain all of the necessary modules for run this script and add the script to the work directory and copy this to directory upload and your local upload is to store some image that upload from the client side and the local is put some like the label file and the configuration and the width and then we begin to install the required models and expose the port. And finally, we begin run this script. Here are two nodes. The first one is master node, and the second one is the worker node. And here's some information about these two nodes. And how to build these two nodes is this file, cluster file, and I make two rows. The first one is control panel, and the second one is worker. I also mapping the port. Here, the host port is 80, and the container port is here. And next is the deployment. Something need to mention is that here, image. I upload this image to Docker Hub and the current version is 1.8 and the container port is 5000. I also do some limitation to CPU is 0.5. And here is the server's file. And I chose the node port type. So put the target port 5000, port 5000 and node port here. 5000 is same to this one and the node port is same to this one. And in this step, I will show how my Docker image is built and logged in my cluster. Firstly, we change to directory assignment 1 and begin to build this image. And after the building, I push it to the Docker Hub here. And we back to the parents directory and we get some nodes. Here is no nodes currently. So we apply this deployment. So this deployment is created. And here we get nodes again. So we get one node and we get some logs. Here is my image. So it is how my image is built and loaded in my cluster. Here is my Nectar VM public address. And here is the security group. I put the HTTP SSH here. HTTP is to get HTTP request, and the SSH is to log in the server, and it's only to ping the server. And we can see the HTTP row. I didn't add any row here except some default row because I mapped the port to 80 port, the HTTP port. And here I'm scaling the replicate to 3 pods. So I get 3 pods here. They are both joining. And here's my servers. And here I will show how to access my VM. Here I run this script and the info file, and here's my address and port. And here's a 4-thread request. Let's begin. Yeah, you can see there are a lot of response from the VM. And let's get some logs from the pods. First, get the pods. And here we get the logs from the first pod. Note that the time is 14:21. And we get the second one. Here is the same time, means that these 2 points work simultaneously.